Hello! All right, it's already been a fun and interesting evening. I cannot get the tools that I wanted to get working for tonight's Wine Antics Live, but I'm still here. I'm going to take a minute and find this on Facebook and share it over to the Wine Antics page so people aren't like, what happened? Because that happens. I have everything set up. Everything is like perfect. It's ready to go. And then nothing worked. Go live. But we still have good ideas for tonight's Wine Antics Live. I know people aren't expecting us here on my personal page. I'm going to invite a friend, Jason Stubblefield. If you didn't know, Stubb's first name is Jason. Invite to the broadcast. I hope that this... Hello! I know, it's a surprise. This is where Wine Antics Live is. As you can tell, I'm traveling, so I'm all out of sorts using my mobile device. Hello, Lori. Hello, Thea. Getting set up here. Stubb should... What's your name? What's my name? Jen? I don't know. What? Sorry, I don't get it. Why are you in Florida? Girl, get out of here. I'm in Florida because my family lives in Florida and I am visiting. I'm going over here to share some things. I need to make sure people, oh my God, see that this has happened. Everything is mobile. Yes, Stubb. Stubb's like, are we going mobile then? Yes, mobile. Okay, fine, that's a good reason. Yes, thank you. And I'm going out to New Orleans very soon for Collision Conference, and it's a lot cheaper to go to New Orleans from Florida than it is to go from Virginia. True story. Saved myself a little bit of money and got to see my family and friends in the process. I feel so freaking meta. I can see myself on Facebook here. I'm just getting it over, sharing it to the Wine Antics page because this isn't how I plan to do this at all. Hey Tina, long time no see. Wine. I should write there will be rosé. Wine Antics Live. Let's just do that. Wine Antics Live mobile edition because that's what this is. This is the mobile edition. Hopefully Stubb will show up. And we can talk about some rosé mobile edition. I would like to take a minute, guys. If you don't get the notifications about Wine Antics Live, I put the reminder up in the description. It is bit.ly/Wine Antics reminder. I made it as simple as possible. Totally. So please go up to the description, click on that, and get the reminders because things are happening with Facebook. Things are happening all around the world, right? All over social medias, all over the internet. So I'm doing reminders now, mostly via email, honestly, so I can get the word out. I've been bottling rosé and whites all day, and I'm sure you are done with seeing all of that, Lori. So hopefully Stubb will pop in here in a second. Maybe I will, can I invite him? Can I just straight up, can I just add him without his permission? That would be awesome. I could. I see I can add, oh there he is, look, add to screen. Yay, let's make this work. Make it work. Make it work. We've done this before, Stubb. We can do it.
Yes! There we go.
So, yay, split screen again.
Awesome. Look at that.
Look at that. And nice and echoey, too, because you don't have your earbuds yet.
I do have earbuds.
You do? Oh, it sounds very echoey. Oh, well.
Hold on, let me,
Are you...
What?
Are you sick?
No, why?
Oh, you sound congested.
Oh,
look at me, I'm like all up in his grill, like...
Yeah, it's probably, it's spring, of course I'm congested. That's just how that goes. All right, let's...
Just saying, Stubb, you sound like shit.
Well, thanks, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Jesus. me turn this light down here.
He smokes. Thea's yelling at you for smoking very early tonight.
Sure, why wouldn't she?
Because it's not why wouldn't she, it's because she loves you.
Yep, I know. There we go. How's that? I figure out where to stand
Very
there.
good.
Bam.
Are you blinded yet? Blinded by the light?
No, I'm all right. It's good. It's all good. Yay.
Okay. So I'm going to put this in the description for everybody. Seriously, guys, I'm sending out reminders about the show because, you know, most of you guys know we have like 2 months on, 1 month off, and I've devised this mad genius crazy way of just giving you notifications. So there's the link. Click on the bit.ly and get reminders so nobody can say they don't know when the heck we're going live.
Right.
Even though I completely set out the email to the wrong link and everything went haywire today. But it's okay. We've got rosé.
We do. All right. I'm all settled now. I'm good.
Are you good?
I think so. Of course I am.
Change of plan like 5-10 minutes before the show.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
All right, Stubb. So I, unbeknownst to you, kind of designated 5 fun facts that I found about rosé.
Good.
Because I really think it's kind of important not only to talk about rosé and, of course, to drink rosé, but to understand what is rosé. Because if you honestly type in rosé or, you know, where or what, totally comes up as a question, what is rosé and what isn't rosé?
Right.
So I don't know, since we do really fancy planning for this, what do you plan on talking about for rosé?
Some weeks more than others, right?
If anybody doesn't realize, I'm traveling. That's why we're doing this mobile. I'm down in Florida. Stubb is up in Virginia. And my other means didn't work. So it's good to know. It's good to know we have mobile-ready options here. Yay! Oh, yes. It's sparkling.
Yeah.
Yes,
it is.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking, hold on. Damn, camera.
There you go.
A little bubbly Cremant de Bourgogne. Because I like fancy it up when I'm drinking pink.
You do. And I've, over the last 2 years of doing this with you, I've learned this about you. So I've gone to the complete opposite end. Okay. And I'm drinking sparkling wine from a can.
You're still drinking bubbles, though.
I am still drinking bubbles, and this is Jacqueline Leon, which is actually out of New Mexico.
That's correct.
Out of New Mexico. So I have one of the best things, or like one of the big tips that I put out on the graphic I created, which I'm going to share later. So it's not just getting the tips live here, but there will be a graphic for it. Is that if you don't know where to buy rosé, stick with French, right? You can get a lot of great French rosés at budget-friendly costs, but there's a lot of New World rosés out there. Stubb's like, I'm just going to go ahead and drink.
Sorry, no, I am.
Hey, Chris.
I'm reading the comments. Leanne, thank you for the belated birthday wishes. I appreciate that very much. Jen, is this your first go with this particular wine?
Yes, it is. Should I know something?
No, I'm just asking. No, I think that's a go-to.
Yeah.
You can get it in those awesome cans. They also bottle it. It's a nice little, they do a pink and a blanc as well.
I mean, come on. That's like a perfect serving there.
It really is. It's a nice little wine, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, not a bad one.
It's a little bit more than I would expect. A little bit more than I would expect because it was like at Total Wine it was like $14 for 4 little cans, but they really liked it and really recommended it. I've never had it, so I love going into Total Wine and just saying, hey, I want something from here or I want this, and just let them shop for me.
Yeah,
takes all the pressure off of it.
That's a fun thing to do, especially if you learn a few of the clerks in there and they know you can trust them a bit.
Or just random strangers in Boynton Beach, Florida, which I blindly trust.
Ooh, that's nice too.
So at least at Total Wine, you have people that work the cash register and they wear one different outfit. And then you look for the guys that have the the earpieces in,
Hmm.
and they're usually wearing collared shirts. Those are the guys that really know what's going on with the wine. So you go to those guys,
That's true.
they're the ones that are going to help you.
That is absolutely true. Yeah.
I like it. It's nice and dry. It's got
Yeah.
a lot of nice little bubbles on it. It's
Yeah,
probably a little bit
pretty,
lighter than this glass because, go ahead, sorry.
no, it's pretty effervescent, that wine, by the way. It's really nice.
I get a little rose on it, a little like young strawberry. Like it's a little green strawberry, but I really enjoy what New Mexico is doing. And we tried New Mexican bubbly, I think
Hmm.
probably from the same producer or similar. Can't remember what we tried at US Bev Expo.
I don't believe it was that producer. Maybe it was.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe it was.
But yes, a lot of bubbly going on in New Mexico as well.
Yeah.
And
So
yes, Gruit is awesome as well. I've taken both of those
good.
on from a friend, Brittany, on Daytime, who's from New Mexico, and
Oh,
she had no idea that those wines existed. So when I've taken those on for her, she's very excited about them.
very nice.
It's all
Very nice.
learning. It's
And
learning.
I also got so I got two wines when I went to Total Wine because
Mm.
it's like the candy store. You can't just go
It's
in and
true.
get one.
Hmm.
I picked up a Malbec rosé from Mendoza just to
Ooh,
show that there's a lot of New World rosés out there
that
and
is a
very
nice one.
tasty like. Hmm
Yes, you are gonna
And
enjoy that you bought it.
I think that it was cheaper than your Charles rosé.
Was it?
Yeah, this was only like $9, maybe $10.
Yeah, the Charles and Charles. What is that? Like $12 or so? 12, 13 now?
Yeah, I saw it at 11 at Target, so I was like,
Okay.
"Ooh, yeah."
Nice. Excellent.
But if you if you know the right region, if you
Hmm.
know what grapes you like from that, you're
Sorry.
Stuff was going through an eclipse at the moment.
My iPad is magnetically attached to my music stand, and the light that I had set up is actually getting blocked by that. So I've got to just wave and turn my garage opener light on every now and again.
Stuff,
That's
you're
it.
making me dizzy,
How
but you're on
so?
fire.
How so? I am on fire. I'm hot fire. Grr. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Jen, is this the first rosé you've had since you arrived in Florida?
Yes, actually, it is. It is, and I've been drinking gimlets actually quite a bit.
Ooh.
I know, little
Look at
club,
you.
so like a little soda, little lime juice, a lot of vodka. It's a good pool sipper, but this is definitely right up there with pool worthy
Yeah.
wine.
Indeed.
I'm enjoying it.
Cool. All right. So Jen, jump into your rosé things. Let's go. Let's just go off of what
Well,
you've
all
prepared
right.
here.
I'm so glad one of us is prepared today. Thea says, if I make pink gin, does that count?
What are you
I
using to
I
make your
don't
gin
think
pink?
so.
Oh, we have both of the Jeffs watching apparently as well.
The Jeffs.
Yes, that's exciting. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much. So that's kind of a funny segue. Thank you, Thea. It's like you've read my notes or something. But it's the point of red wine plus white wine does not equal rosé wine, traditionally.
Oh, really? Because that's not how I make most of my rosés. I open a bottle of red and a bottle of white and just pour them in a pitcher. That's not how rosé is made?
Not traditionally.
I had no idea.
No. But you know what? If it's not regulated, a lot of New World protocols don't say that you can't blend to make a rosé. So that's why I say with that little asterisk, traditionally, rosé is not red wine plus white wine. It is through skin contact.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah,
In a couple of different ways.
go for it, Stub.
Wow. So you can press red grapes and get the color from the skins via the pressing process that takes, depending on the grapes and how large your press is, a couple of hours at a time. And then you can actually go ahead and start fermenting your red grapes for your red wines, and then pull a little juice out of there before the juice inside gets too dark. Squeeze the grapes. Oh yeah.
Squeeze the grapes. Or you can let it bleed with the sangui. See, this is me in French words, where it's the bleeding of the grapes and it's the free run juice. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm saying, and you're intentionally not correcting me. Yeah, yeah, that word right there. Thea, everybody.
It's Sagny.
Sagnier?
No, it's Sagny.
Sagny?
Sagny.
Sagnier.
Yes.
That's still French to me.
You're welcome for letting you
stumble through that.
There we go.
So I know we're not the only ones that have opened bottles of rosé. I know Thea teased out that she had 2 bottles of rosé tonight. What are you guys drinking? Are you drinking sparkling rosé, still rosé, French rosé? Let us know in the comments what you're drinking. So
don't everyone comment at once. God.
I know, right? Seriously. Yep. So I mentioned the second tip that I had was, if you're in a pinch or you don't know how to shop for rosé and you're still on a budget or not on a budget, going with France, especially Provence, is a great way to go.
Absolutely. And let's keep in mind, even some of your nicer provincial rosés are still $25-$30. I mean, you're not having to come out of pocket a whole lot to get some really, really nice wines out of there. So yeah, that is a good tip. But once again, you go to some of these larger stores who have wines bottled for them or buy direct from. I mean, you're looking at some nice rosés. Probably you pick those things up for $8 or $9, and they are amazing. Yeah.
Have you had a Sancerre rosé?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I have not.
Yes, I have.
One of the clerks at Total Wine today was like, "This is $19.99. This is very tasty. We had a whole case earlier this week, and now we have 3 bottles left. I recommend that."
The bottle was $99. I'm like, whoa, you should probably not be drinking a $19.99 rosé.
No, and that's another good tip.
It was probably that. Hold on, what is that one? It's Christian something with a green square on the label. Is it Christian Salmon or something like that? They sell that one at all of the Total Wines, and you can.
It was far enough away because that was not in my budget.
Nah, well, that's fine. No,
that was not in my budget. And if you haven't noticed, rosé is everywhere as well right now. I didn't even have to go very far in Total Wine to find rosé. I was like, thank you very much. Make this easy on me.
I actually visited a Total Wine here in Virginia this week, and it seems like, and I don't know why this would be, that rosés are very prominently merchandised right now in those stores. Because it's spring, and you want to drink nice, pink wines.
Yeah, but it's spring in Ohio and Pennsylvania that still has snow. So
right. I know. I know.
So it is a hard sell in a couple places, and that's a really great point. Rosé is not dependent on the time of the year.
Also true. And
not.
I've actually talked to a few importers and sales reps saying that even getting into New York City, people are asking for rosés as early as January now at restaurants. So it's not just the. Yes, it's not the springtime. We think of that, light, crisp, refreshing, fruity, little strawberry notes on there, especially with these and with a lot of rosés. But people are taking rosé seriously over the last several years, which is actually a really cool thing.
Yes, it is. And I'd like to say people are taking it very seriously, but then my last tip that I had is rosé is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a millennial thing.
No.
And it's not a girl thing.
No.
And I totally saw Disney this week had a nice little pink, a little champagne flute, or had a flute, and then it had a little Mickey Mouse hat that was pink, and they called it millennial pink something. And I'm like, stop it. Stop it, Disney.
So I hate millennials as much as the next non-millennial does. However, there is something to be said about getting people involved in wine, even if it's a gimmicky thing, a gimmicky way to do it, getting people to drink wine who normally wouldn't drink wine. So if, the Mickey Pink, the Mini Pink or whatever is getting someone to try wine they wouldn't normally try wine, that's a pretty good thing, right? And Thea makes a good point. Yeah, millennials are buying wine. Like, we need to realize that as well as the wine industry. And while we're talking, this is a great segue. Look at this. While we're talking, hi Jessica, thanks for joining us. While we're talking about it, is all rosé wine super sweet, Jen? No.
Oh, that's actually no.
I know
Thank you.
it's not. Bone dry rosé is amazing, but we think of a lot of less educated consumers or potential consumers when they think rosé, they think of white zin. And I have read, Barbie, I know, Thea, I know, that's true. It's not. But we think also in a way, and I've heard it said and heard it posited, that white zin, as much as serious wine people want to say, oh, that's terrible, that's awful, it's just sugary sweet syrup, or as I call it, cougar juice. I've seen it posited that white zin actually helped save the wine world in the U.S. because of the increased sales, and it got people drinking wine. So it saved the growing industry, or helped the growing industry in California when it wasn't thriving as much. So just by virtue of being able to sell these grapes to make this wine, which most serious wine people would say that is terrible, it actually ended up helping the industry, especially in California and the U.S. writ large, in the long run.
And Thea actually answers one of my questions, because I wanted to trick my aunt. My aunt, I said, I compared one of the wines we had one of the nights here, and I said, this is almost like a Zinfandel. It's, got big, bold fruit up front, kind of mellow on the palate, not a lot of burn in the alcohol. I really enjoy this. And she's like, oh, I don't like Zin. And she's like, oh, wait, no, that's white Zin. And I totally get it, but Thea says, white Zin, and there's a new breed of white Zin, aka dry Zin rosé. Yeah. Have you had a rosé Zin?
I have not, actually, that I can recall. Yeah, I have not.
I think that would be a great thing to put out there. Is like, it's not your grandmother's white Zin.
Interesting. Interesting.
I bet you could do a parody with that.
It's funnily enough, hilariously enough, one of my very first parody videos was called White Zin. And it has me looking
if you missed us last week,
fabulous.
Looking back on Stubb's life and all of his greatest hits.
Yeah.
Stubb had a birthday. So anybody that wasn't here last week, type it in the comments. Give Stubb a second happy birthday. He's turned 40 years old and
30,
still looking
30.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I turned 30. Stubb naked in the hot tub. I did enjoy the naked in the hot tub this weekend.
By the way, Stubb, really? You're taking live to a whole new level with that.
Why not?
That's actually not there's cam girls, so it's not a whole new level, but
I'm saying as long as I frame it right and don't step back, I'm good to go. And everybody's happy. Just leave the illusion. It's nice.
So with the concept of the different types of ways that you can get away with making rosé, you can pretty much make rosé out of any grape. Now, traditionally, it's made from a red grape, and the less skin, the slight amount of skin contact, right? The more color or less color that you get.
Yes.
What are you giggling at me? I'm giggling at.
I'm waiting.
Okay. Waiting. But you can make it out of almost any grape, and you can get to the point where you're like, okay, I want a Zinfandel rosé. I actually went into Total Wine today, and I was like, I want a Mourvedre rosé. I could not get one, but I tried.
Interesting.
I totally tried. I could get a mix, so a Mourvedre, Grenache, and Cinsault blend from southern France, but I could not get 100% Mourvedre like you can in Texas.
Yeah, that's probably a little harder, just for that wider distribution getting that. So Thea makes a good point. You can't make rosé from a white grape.
Almost any.
However,
non-traditionally you can.
if you leave some skin contact with white grapes, you end up getting this kind of orange wine thing that is hit the world a little bit hard last year. Ooh, Lori bottled Mourvedre rosé today. That sounds amazing.
She's just doing that to tease us. I know.
I know.
Very good. Barbara's like, orange wine. Yes, it's not rosé. That is orange wine.
It is not rosé, but it's really the same. It's a similar principle, letting that skin contact happen with the wine that would normally end up being, that yellow or pale straw color that we think of, what are the gamut of the white wines we think of is you get that orange in there for that skin contact. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Now, how about in the New World, if you were to do something like have a white base and then add just the stem, or not the stems, but the skins that you'd pressed out and gotten rid of from another grape, you could technically make a rosé of Sauvignon Blanc.
Could. I don't know that anyone has done that, or no one I know of has done that. There is some blending from time to time with the rosés. And I mean, look, let's be honest, people do that even when you're making rosé, and he is making the point of, it's the legality of what you can blend and call things. But winemakers will add things in and out to achieve the desired lovely color they want in their bottle.
I'm just saying, it could happen. Like, you could, just because the American Viticulture Association or area denies that, it doesn't mean that you can't do it, and it doesn't mean that it's not possible. And that's why I say traditionally. Like, traditionally, red wine blended with white wine is not a rosé. But, there are some rule breakers out there. There's a lot of wineries that are not in an AVA in the United States. Just saying. Just putting that little bug out there to any winemakers. If you want to go crazy, take some Merlot skins, put it over some Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay. Go crazy here on the East Coast.
Wow. I'm trying to think. Technically, like, you're going to be dealing with a lot of VA on that. Man, I don't. Any winemakers are crazy enough to try it and tell us how it went, go. But that would be, I don't know. I think you're looking at a lot of not only unique practices, I think you're probably looking at a lot of difficult issues with the actual winemaking itself. Like I said, I would, again, technically the VA, I think the VA on the skins is probably the thing you would worry about the most. That's just off the top of my head, but I don't know. All right.
So it still lends to the fact that you can make rosé out of almost any grape. Definitely out of any red grape.
Absolutely. Sure you can.
There you go.
So why don't we see rosés out of some other grapes, Jen? And we get into that because what we end up getting is we end up getting, I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Look at that.
Yeah, I got distracted by Thea talking about
I looked
cavas.
at a comment and I was trying to read it and I was like, wait a minute. Okay. And I completely lost what I was thinking.
So just stick your nose in the glass or drink a little bit and we'll move on. Hey, Bren.
Let me stare sexually into the camera here.
And Thea goes back to, why would I do that? And there aren't many wineries that aren't in some AVA, even if it is Virginia. I'm not even talking about Virginia. Virginia's got like 2 or 3 AVAs itself. Sweetie, I just spent some time in Georgia. Okay? You want to talk about some people that aren't in an AVA? Just saying. There's some North Carolina wineries that are not in the AVA, in the one AVA that is in North Carolina, and they have the capability. And I'm not saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate for this.
True, but
we're going by the rules.
But also look how many wines when you go, especially into some of the lesser producing states, wine producing states, and they produce wine that is from the American AVA, or that's what they put on the bottle, American wine. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. What's happening?
I want to know what AVA is in Georgia. That's what I want to know.
Stone Mountain.
Are you serious?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Upper Hiawassee Highlands AVA, shared with North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are
Really?
technically, every wine growing region has recognized AVAs.
I want a map of that. I want to see what the heck that looks like.
What looks
Give
like?
me a picture of that.
Hmm. So
Now I've gone down the.
Jen's studying for her term paper. How's everyone else doing?
Shut up.
Jen, what's
This
next
was
on your
Thea's fault.
list of rosé stuff?
I think we actually got through most of them. So red plus wine, red plus white doesn't traditionally equal rosé.
No.
When in doubt and on a budget, stick with France, especially Provence.
All right, I like that advice.
Yeah, you can make a rosé nearly out of any grape. Nearly. There's a few out there, just saying, especially a red one. Not all rosé is sweet.
No.
Not all rosé is dry either.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, right? Well, oh, mind blown, Jen. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It totally blew your mind. And then rosé is for everyone. It's not just a millennial thing. It's not just a girl thing. And that millennial pink bubbly drink that they are marketing at Disney is actually Iron Horse.
Okay.
I was surprised to actually get to the nitty-gritty of that. I was like, okay.
So let me ask you this there, playing devil's advocate, Jen. Do you think pink wine is more thought of, is in a broader, less educated circle, more thought of as a lady wine or a millennial wine?
More a lady wine than a millennial wine, for sure. But it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been known longer thanks to White Zin, right?
Yeah.
White Merlot, that pink is something, Pink is something the ladies drink.
I'm here to tell you that adorable bearded cross-dressing Sting impersonators love pink in their glass. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you're drinking right now?
No, I do. No, I've been asked. I mean, it's been years and years ago more, but people say, "Oh, you like rosé?" And I said, "Of course."
Yeah.
And then, but you get this opportunity to talk to people about the processes and things on the rosé and how it's made, and that it actually is wine, well-made wine, and hopefully it's intentional rosés. I mean, winemakers try to make it intentionally, and I think those who make rosé intentionally make it better. Instead of doing this and bleeding off, and you're like, well, here's a byproduct of this because we have, we have these grapes that are going to support that, so we can pull, some juice out and make a rosé. Who cares? So those who do it intentionally, I think, make it better. But yeah, it's a great category, and yeah, it's a great category. I love it. I love it.
So there's a rosé that has recently caught some attention from the blogging community. Mm-hmm. It's that Julian Browd 40-ounce rosé. So it's in a very, very clearly looking 40-ounce jug. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's very flashy. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on the marketing of it, not the quality of the rosé, because I haven't tasted the quality yet. I mean, the price point for a liter is like $13.95 as I'm looking it up.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. So the 40-ounce bottle is a little over a liter. Right, so I mean, our typical bottle here is 750 milliliters. So you're adding 300 milliliters to this for a 40-ounce bottle.
Yeah, you can do math.
All right, from a marketing person, no. Well, I'm saying, so the amount of wine you're getting in there isn't necessarily so much more. I don't love the idea of doing like the Edwards 40 hands, game that the kids seem to play with a wine. That just seems ridiculous. I mean, it seems ridiculous anyway, to be honest. Come on, but. I think creativity from a marketing perspective is hilarious, but I also think that I don't know. Are you getting people to drink something they wouldn't normally drink and bringing them into wine? I don't know that you are. The kitsch of it is interesting, but I don't know that it's any worse than name any star or any brand who has putting a label on a wine in order to sell wine. So you think Game of Thrones, or you think like Gabrielle Union's wine, or you think who's that girl who was, oh gosh, she's like a pop singer, but she was like early on The Voice as like the backstage whatever person. Drew Barrymore, peeling her grapes as she does by hand, one at a
Oh
time.
my God.
One at a
Really?
time, as she lisps beautiful, beautiful proverbs to us to improve our lives. Um, so I don't know from a marketing perspective that's any different. And I get the shape of the bottle. I get that there's some history with that, potentially to some degree. But I don't know. I don't think any more or less of it than anything else. Do I think it's probably a fine wine? No. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if 50 Shades of Grey can make wine, or the Duck Dynasty people can make wine, and once again, I say make wine loosely because once again, they've signed a partnership agreement with a large producer who's going to slap a label on there. Now, they may have something to do with the blend and what they want it to taste like for the market who's going to buy something with those labels on them. But I don't know. It doesn't necessarily bother me, and I haven't tasted it either. I have to be honest. So I don't know what's in the glass there or in the bottle, but I don't know. Thea says it's fine, not special, but it's acceptable porch pounder. Cool. I mean,
Yes.
I totally can believe that. I'll be honest with you too, from a price point perspective, having tried like the Duck Dynasty wines, I thought those were actually, huh?
You actually tasted those?
Oh, of course I did. Yeah, when the what's the name of that family?
Robinsons.
Yeah, they put out a Christmas album a couple of years back. So I went and reviewed their Christmas album and drank their Duck Dynasty wine for a blog post.
Lori said that they didn't even make the wine. A Texas winery made their wine.
Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. And the woman who wrote 50
Robertson, you're right, Jessica.
Not actually out in the vineyard pulling grapes and making her own wine either. She went to Trucaro and had them make a wine for her. And I'll also say this: the 50 Shades of Grey wines aren't terrible. I think they're a hair overpriced personally, but the red and the white are both okay. Now maybe
You're paying for the label.
True, and maybe that had something to do with my tasting experience with them because of my situation when I tasted them. But it's a whole different thing. That's like going into a winery and buying too much wine and getting home and going, "Ooh, this is terrible."
So, first off, nobody does Edward 40 hands anymore. You're
I don't
old.
feel like that's true. I don't feel like that's true.
Nobody does that anymore. That was a trend like 2 years ago. It's off YouTube.
There's still some idiots doing it.
They're eating Tide Pods now and stuffing condoms up their noses. They've moved on to killing themselves.
What is the condom
in
thing?
different ways. I have no idea. I have no idea. I do not understand the need for self-harm to gain attention. Wait.
Yeah, I don't know what the condom thing is, though. I can't figure out what that is, and I'm afraid to click a link. Because are they like sucking it up and like pulling it through like you used to do with the kids used to do with string as kids?
Probably.
Like I don't know what they're doing.
You can go Google that afterwards.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's weird. That feels like a waste of time.
So do you think celebrities have improved rosé as a identifiable concept now that they've come into the market? Angelina Jolie did a rosé. Drew Barrymore has done a rosé, and I don't know that I can't connect any others that they've done, just the rosés.
I mean, all right, so the Angelina rosé, that, at least my understanding, if anyone watching knows the difference, her and Brad bought this estate and basically kind of let it go. They wanted to own a wine estate, and they did that. And those wines, in my opinion, are fabulous. Once again, you could probably knock a couple of dollars off each bottle price, but they're decent wines. Now, Drew Barrymore, she's so active, as Thea mentioned earlier. She's peeling all the grapes herself.
No, she's not.
I don't know, but like I feel like putting your actual name on a wine coming from an area where that's not your thing, right? Like the Duck Dynasty wine came about because supposedly they bought a vineyard there in Louisiana. Okay, who cares? So there's that little bit of thing. I don't even know if that wine's still available, by the way. Does anyone else know that?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Drew Barrymore is an idiot, but she's totally adorable. So she can get away with it.
And now she's back on TV. She's got her own Netflix special.
That's true. Well, see, now she's getting into the food world with this show. So maybe she's pairing her wine experience with the food experience.
No, she's doing a comedy where she's a freaking zombie.
Right. Who eats people.
It's not food. That's not okay.
It's called the
I highly doubt
diet. I'm saying there's a crossover right there.
Okay.
Yes.
For cannibalists everywhere. There's a total pairing for that.
I mean, I'm saying there's got to be an opportunity. She can peel back some nails before she eats a finger appetizer.
Okay.
And then,
go downhill now.
And then peel some
Go
grapes.
downhill. All right. So, Stubb, did you? Yep, we're talking about condoms up the nose and eating human flesh. It's time to wrap this up. Stubb, do you have any final thoughts?
I don't really know how to cap this off at this point, Jen. I really don't.
There's nowhere to go but down.
I'm happy to be drinking rosé right now. Had a lovely rosé this weekend when it actually did feel like spring that one day this year. So for that one day, it felt like spring. We had a nice rosé. And I'm looking forward to having the other couple that I chilled that we didn't get to this weekend. Oh. Hopefully this weekend before I leave for like 3 weeks. Yeah, that's right.
You're going to Colorado, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to be gone a while. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Pretty excited. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for everybody out there, I'm in Florida next week, and then the following week I'm in travel. So we have Wine Antics Live next week. We will not have it the following week, which is May 3rd. So please click in the description or scroll up through the comments. There's a bit.ly link to get reminders so that I can get you on the email list and on the chatbot list when Facebook decides to lift all of the things that they've done.
Yes.
Yes.
So Jen, you're on next week by yourself.
I am.
And then we're both taking that week off, and then it looks likely you'll be by yourself again, which I'm still waiting to confirm. So watch Jen. Mm-mm. So I will say my final thoughts are, hey.
Oh, you have final thoughts now.
No, I'm saying if I don't see you guys for a couple weeks, thanks for joining us back here. And hopefully Jen and I, between our travel schedules or whatever, we can do the show when we're traveling, depending on what we're doing and where we are. So if one of us have not joined the show, it's because of a dire circumstance.
Yes.
Because I've done the show from a hotel room. You're doing the show from Florida. I've done the show early on from poolside on my mobile phone.
You try to pimp yourself as naked hot tubbing again?
I actually do think I showed up shirtless that one time just to freak you out before we went on air.
that was like over a year and a half ago. Oh my goodness.
That was hilarious. Look at that. Chris Kern.
So Kern's here. So we gotta go.
Yeah. Jen, are we gonna have an
after party? It's time to
go.
No, we are not.
Why not?
Having an after party.
Why not?
Because it's freaking 70 degrees outside, and I'm with my family.
Gosh,
like y'all can go have an after party, but I'm a horrible human being.
How many people?
And it's all about me.
Hold on, I'll put up a link for a short after party if people want to hang out for a little bit.
Where are you gonna have an after party?
I guess they'll let like 8 or 10 people on a pier, right? Is that right?
4.
Is that it? I thought they would let more than that.
They used to, but now they've gone to a pro. Like you got to pay for the pro account to get up to 12 people.
Interesting. Well, jump on. If there's space, I'll let you on and we can hang out, kids, for a little bit. I'm not hanging out for a lot either because I got a lot of stuff to do. And honestly,
he's like,
I don't know how many of you people I like that much anyway.
You're a great human. Enjoy your family job. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Make sure you get the reminders up above. Seriously, like I'm only pimping this because I don't want to hear any one of you say, I don't know when you're live. I'm making that happen. I'm making sure you guys know when we're live.
That is true.
And my emails are actually getting quite nice. Like, Stubb didn't know that I sent that very 80s inspired, really strange graphic around. Your birthday graphic. That went out to the email list first, and then this week I shared like 3 other bloggers' articles on rosé.
So when are you live again? Thea's breaking my shots here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stubb may not be back until the end of May. All right, I'm really getting out of here. Have a good night.
Cheers, Jen.
Everybody, enjoy your rosé. Bye.
Bye, friends.